The 2021 Hungarian Grand Prix was a Formula One motor race held on 1 August 2021 at the Hungaroring in Mogyorod, Hungary. It was the 11th round of the 2021 Formula One World Championship. The event, which was held over the weekend of the 30th of July to the 1st of August at the Hungaroring, was the 11th round of the 2021 World Championship, marking the 36th time the Hungarian Grand Prix has appeared on the World Championship calendar. Additional debris fencing was installed at the 13th corner before the event, while minor modifications were made to the pit lane entrance and exit. After title contenders Max Verstappen and Lewis Hamilton collided on the first lap of the British Grand Prix, Verstappen's lead in the World Drivers' Championship was reduced to 8 points. They are followed by McLaren driver Lando Norris a further 64 points back, and Hamilton's teammate Valtteri Bottas 5 points behind Norris. Further, Mercedes have closed the gap between themselves and Red Bull in the World Constructors' Championship to 4 points. McLaren occupies third 122 points behind Mercedes, but 15 points ahead of Scuderia Ferrari. The drivers and teams were the same as the season entry list with no additional stand-in drivers. For the race, Robert Kubica drove in the first practice session for Alfa Romeo Racing in place of Kimi Raikkonen. Sole tire supplier Pirelli allocated the C2, C3, and C4 compounds of tire to be used in the race. Free practice 1 and 2 took place on the 30th of July at 11:30 Central Europe Summer Time and 1500 Central Europe Summer Time respectively. Free practice 3 was held on the 31st of July at 12 o'clock Central Europe Summer Time. The first qualifying session took place on 31 July at 1500 Central Europe Summer Time. Hamilton qualified in pole position ahead of Bottas and Verstappen. Verstappen would start on the soft tires after using them in the second segment, while Hamilton and Bottas would both start on the medium tire compound. Perez qualified fourth, ahead of Gasly. The second part of qualifying was stopped after a crash by Sainz. The wind caused instability in the car. Russell failed to progress past the first segment for the first time in 2021. Schumacher did not take part in the session because his car was damaged in a crash during free practice. The race started at 1500 Central Europe Summer Time on the 1st of August. It was held for 70 laps at the Hungaroring with Lewis Hamilton starting on pole position. The race was won by Esteban Ocon, with Hamilton and Carlos Sainz Jr. completing the podium. Pierre Gasly earned the fastest lap, while both Williams cars scored points for the first time in 3 years. Rain before and during the first lap led to all cars starting on intermediate tires. Although Antonio Giovinazzi pitted for dry tires at the end of the formation lap and subsequently started from the pit lane, the race began with major incidents at turn 1 on the first lap. Valtteri Bottas braked late, causing him to go into the back of the McLaren of Lando Norris, sending Norris into Verstappen, who suffered major damage but was able to return to the grid following the restart. Bottas went sideways into the Red Bull of Sergio Perez, taking him out of the race. Lance Stroll attempted to turn wide but went into the Ferrari of Charles Leclerc, who then forced Daniel Ricciardo to spin out as a result. When the safety car was called out, Perez retired, after following 2 laps under the safety car. The race was red flagged. Norris then retired under the red flag. As the cars came into the pit lane to change tires and come out for the restart, Nikita Mazepin was knocked out of the race after an unsafe release from Kimi Raikkonen saw the two collide. Raikkonen was given a 10-second time penalty. On the restart, only race leader Hamilton started from the grid on intermediate tires. The rest of the grid started from the pits having changed to slick tires. Hamilton pitted after lap 4, putting the Alpine of Ocon into the lead with Vettel chasing close behind. Hamilton undercut Verstappen and Ricciardo on lap 20 by pitting for hard tires. Sainz undercut Latifi and Tsunoda, putting him into third behind Ocon and Vettel. Hamilton fought his way up to fourth, then pitted on lap 48, coming out behind Alonso. Alonso held him back for 12 laps after lap 53 until the Spaniard locked up and Hamilton passed at turn 1. Hamilton overtook the Ferrari of Sainz and moved into third. Ocon won the race from Vettel and Hamilton. Vettel was later disqualified for having less than the required fuel sample. This promoted Sainz to third. This was Ocon and Alpine's first victory. The first Grand Prix win for the Enstone team since the 2013 Australian Grand Prix, when they were known as Lotus F1. The first Grand Prix win for the Renault-Nissan Alliance-owned Formula One team since 2008 Japanese Grand Prix in the hands of Fernando Alonso, and the first Grand Prix win for the Renault as a full works engine manufacturer since the 2014 Belgian Grand Prix, when Renault was partnered with Red Bull Racing as a then engine partner in the hands of Danny